All right, boys, it is the 31st of May, 2025. It is in the 70s today here in Richmond, Virginia. The current water temperature at the beach area, we jumped up a little from yesterday. It is today, as of this morning, 69.5. That's really good. That's a really good increase from yesterday. Since I'm not there right now today, that means it's only one beach trip for May 2025. Hope to get back there very soon though. Alright guys, it is the final day of the spring season of movie watching, and what a great year it's been. I started with that video back in late March. The big video, which I didn't do last year, on breaking down the spring season of movie watching, and it's been a hell of a run. It's been one of the best spring season of movie watching to date. Started things off March 28th. Let's do a quick rundown. March 28th, Terror at Red Wolf Inn, 1972 is our lead-off film, and then The Room, 2003, Tommy Wiseau, followed by The Shooting Board, 1967, Dragnet episode. Then to close out March, we did The Crossing, 1994. Good David Muir Christian film. The Barbershop was on the first day of April. The Barbershop, 1894. Second day of April, we did The Disappearance of Flight 412, 1974, picked by the Shawkinator. And then Time Enough at Last, 1959. Forgot about that one. Twilight Zone. April Fool's Day, on the 4th of April this year. April Fool's Day, 1986. Maybe the best of all the spring season films. And then A Night to Remember. The day after that, 1958, Titanic film for the anniversary coming up. That was coming up. And then Your Wonderful Year, 1936 from 1990, a VHS. Is probably the worst one of the whole season. That was a terrible viewing. The Flickering Torch Mystery, didn't get to it in March, so watched it on the 7th of April. Flickering Torch Mystery, 1977. Hardy Boys Mystery. Second Glance, 1992. Touchstone Terrorists, Part 3, 2023. The John Smoltz Hall of Fame speech, 2015. Wow. Death Warmed Up, 1984. Gave that one another shot from the Nightmare Worlds DVD set. Suddenly, 1954, great film with Frank Sinatra. And then The Masters Live, 2025 on the 13th of April. Coming to the middle of April, we had Rafa, Where Healing Begins, 1991. Remember that one? I think I uploaded that to YouTube. The Doomsday Machine, 1972, great sci-fi film, on the 15th on Tax Day. And then on the 16th, we did The Harvest, 1997. Just happen to have that one right here, boys. The Harvest, 1997. This is it right here. It's only 17 minutes. The Harvest. A must-watch for this season. All the Kind Strangers, another must-watch, 1974. Good Friday Service, live, 2025. Against All Hope, another must-watch on the 19th. Hill Number 1, A Story of Faith and Inspiration, 1951. Always a fun watch there. James Dean in that one. That was on Easter Sunday. Easter related. The day after Easter Sunday was Dead Mall, Virginia Center Commons 2022 on YouTube, starring Kristen Lillies. Nice thing she put together. YouTube channel there. And then on the 22nd of April, A City Family, 1972. Don't remember that one too well. A City Family, oh yeah. Australian film. And then Night of the Meek, went back to that one. A Christmas Fest film. 1959, a Christmas film. Maybe we'll do something like that. We watch that again at the mini Christmas Fest in June. 24th of April, the NFL Draft 2025. Thanks, everybody. Great party. 2025. April 25th, Closed Mondays, 1974. April 26th, The Pretender, 1987. April 27th, Accordion Player, 1888. The good one. Ranking the albums Bruce Springsteen 2023. That was one before we went to the beach with Pete Pardo. I talked about that one at the beach area. And then on that night after coming over from the beach on the 29th of April, Live, Love, and Believe 1911. Last day of April, closed out April with the Domino's Pizza training video 1992. And then we went with a must-watch for May Day, Piranha 1972, and then Long Live Walter Jameson, 1960, a Twilight Zone episode, and a very good one with Kevin McCarthy of Invasion of the Body Snatchers on the 2nd of May. May 3rd, Trip with the Teacher, another must-watch, 1975, Zalman King. On Star Wars Day, we did Hardware Wars, 1978, funny parody of Star Wars. On Cinco de Mayo, we did Where's Johnny, 1974. 6th of May, we did Seminary Girls, 1897, directed by James H. White. The Alpha Incident was the next day, one of my favorites of the spring season movie watching. On the 7th of May. May 8th was Starship Live 2025, a really good viewing, which I did a review for. And then Contamination, another must-watch the night after, 1980. May the 10th, we did A Case of Spring Fever, an MST3K short. That's 1940. On May 11th, When Worlds Collide, 1989, a Wonder Years episode on Mother's Day. It had to do with mother relationship. When Worlds Collide, not this 50s sci-fi film. May 12th, Ordinary Guy, 1979. May 13th, Trucker's Woman, 1975. Maybe no longer a must-watch, but it was a must-watch this year. The 14th of May, The Incredible Shrinking Man, 1957, picked by Andy 8010. And then the 15th of May, as we got to the fourth quarter of the spring season of movie watching, The Seniors, 1978. Yes, good comedy from the late 70s. Next day was The Kiss in the Tunnel, 1899. And then The School for Postmen, 1947. The Student, 1969, that was a Dragnet. Number One Rule of Time Travel, 2024, a good little short film on YouTube. May the 20th, Rattlers, 1976. We were getting down to the end of our must-watches with Sam Chu Jr. Primer, 2004, interesting time travel film on the 21st of May. Monkey Shines number 1, 1890. Wow. From starring Giuseppe Sacco Albanese. And then Going All the Way was May the 23rd, 1982. One of my favorite 80s comedies. Few people know about. The Idaho Transfer. Right up there with April Fool's Day for the must-watches for the spring season of movie watching. 1973. That was 1 week ago. Heading down to the last week, we did 1956 World Series. Yankees-Dodgers put out in 1993. Cult of the Cobra. Darth and I watched that together. 1955. And then People Are Alike All Over. Good one to go back to. Twilight Zone. Roddy McDowall. Julian Jack. A couple days ago on the 28th. Yes. The Appointment. 1991. Excellent pick by the Shawkinator. And then last night's feature presentation on the 30th of May. The Award. 1985 Mormon film, hard to find, hilarious. This one clocking in at 44 minutes, starring Steven Assel, Donovan Holloman. You never heard of these guys, neither have I. They're just first one-time actors, one and done. Lynn Whitbeck, Cheryl Pence, Bob White, Roy Dickinson, Randy Peterson, Tiffany Bay, Joe Bay, both relatives of the director, Donna W. Dick, Dale Lake, and Maria Elizabeth Acevedo, and many, many more. The Award, 1985. Check this one out on YouTube. It is hilarious. This is a really good one. Glad to have come up with that, find that one, finally. There were more Twilight Zones this year than I thought. I think we had 4 in this year, and we got through all of the must-watches and a good number of the others. One final night for the spring season of movie watching. No must-watches on the table. Probably just do a one for all the marbles. Flesh it out. Something quality. Thanks for enjoying the spring season movie watching. I will post the June season tonight in the room, all right? And then we'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a happy Saturday.